Good morning and welcome to Dominion Sport this morning, where we have got big stories making the headlines. Iwobi, Chukwueze and Bassi were all in action as Manchester City closed the gap on Arsenal with a commanding 2-0 win over Fulham. The Super Falcons are preparing to return to Morocco to defend the Women's African Cup of Nations crown. Israel Adesanya has hinted a possible 2027 retirement date. Lookman eyes a big night against Barcelona. Atletico Madrid chase a place in the final. And closer to home, Eric Schell's has reportedly made the shortlist to replace De Zerbi at Marseille. Stay with us. It is packed, it is powerful, and it is sport at its finest. I am Abe Paul Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio this wonderful morning. I have Nuruddin Halimi joining me to talk sport right here on the go. Top of the morning to you, my brother. Just take me through how was yesterday for you. The Premier League games that went down yesterday. Some teams picked up the victory, just like you said, much needed victory, and some teams slipped off the pecking order.
Yes, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Toluwanimi. It's nice to be back here. It was exciting in the world of sports yesterday. There were tennis matches in other tours that are going on currently. For Premier League teams, Man City, like I hinted yesterday, they needed the 3 points and they are breathing down the neck of Arsenal. Now Arsenal now needs to win to extend the lead back to 6. Villa got a very late win against, and that helped them because United and Chelsea that are chasing them dropped points on Tuesday. So that's very good for them. And for Palace, they got a victory as well. Sean Dyche left after a disappointing draw against Wolves yesterday. So it was all exciting and it was all fun, and it's what I want to see from football.
All right, let's start off making a round in the world of sport this morning. Is the Falcons as they start up to gear up for a WAFCON title defense. Barely a year after winning the record extending 10th Women's African Cup of Nations title, the Super Falcons are set to return to Morocco next month to defend their crown. Ahead of the tournament, meanwhile, the Super Falcons will begin their build-up to the 2026 tournament by competing in a 4-nations West African tournament scheduled to take place in Abidjan later this month. The team has confirmed a participation in the invitation competition organized by the West African Football Union, WAFUB, which will run from February 27th to March 7th, 2026 in Ivory Coast. The tournament will feature 4 teams that have qualified for the WAFCON and will host by African, joined by Nigeria, Ghana, and Senegal. The mini tournament is expected to serve as a final competitive test for the teams, ending just 10 days before the start of the WAFCON finals in Morocco. Although there's still some uncertainty surrounding the tournament following the host reportedly request for a postponement. The 2026 WAFCON is scheduled to run from March 17 to April 3rd, 2026. Defending champions Nigeria have been drawn in Group C alongside Zambia, Egypt, and debutant Malawi. Let's talk about the Super Falcons preparation for the WAFCON and also the report surrounding a change of date for this year's WAFCON. Are we prepared? Are we ready to defend its crown? That's the question.
Nigeria seems ready for every competition, for every WAFCON competition for the past couple of years. Nigeria have been contenders even before the draw has been made. So this time around again, they're defending champions. They won the record 10th title, record extending 10th title last time out in Morocco. Now they're going back to Morocco or whichever country is going to see because of the uncertainties that are surrounding hosting and postponement. So from CAF now, we are waiting official statement from them as regards is South Africa hosting, and because one of the officials from South Africa came out weeks back saying they are going to take the hosting from Morocco. Morocco are seeking for postponement. So those are the things. But for teams that are going to perform in the competition, they shouldn't bank on any of those things. Just get your team ready. And this is the right way for the Super Falcons to go. They are playing opponents that they would likely face in the competition, and that's what I think they should do. We are past the days of facing Europeans when we are preparing for
an African
tournament. So when you play teams that you are likely to meet in the competitions, you know where your lapses are, where you need to improve. And for the teams, they are playing strong teams, Ghana, Senegal, and Ivory Coast. It's going to be a very good preparation for them. And 10 days before the competition, no more friendlies. The coach will be able to, coach will be able to get his team together, knows the players that need to be left out of the squad, and by the time they want to announce the final squad for the competition, they will be ready for that.
All right, let's see how the Super Falcons will be ready ahead of the defending WAFCON title. We'll be giving you more updates on that scene, as time would permit us on the show. All right, let's move away from that and let's talk about Super Eagles head coach Eric Shields has again emerged as a potential candidate for another coaching job. Following multiple reports from the French club, Marseille are considering to replace Roberto De Zerbi, and Marseille parted ways by mutual consent on Wednesday after a series of bad results, the latest being the 5-0 hammering at the hands of Paris Saint-Germain. As a result, they have dropped to 4th in the Ligue 1 table and were also eliminated from the UEFA Champions League. Marseille are in search of a replacement for the Italian manager, with Eric Shields emerging as a potential candidate right there. The head coach, Eric Shields, has emerged as a potential candidate for Olympique Marseille after being recommended by intermediaries in recent days. Shields has been in France lately, was at the Orange Velodrome last Tuesday as Olympique Marseille secured a convincing 3 victory at Rennes, reaching the quarterfinals of the 2025-2026 Coupe de France. Meanwhile, the president of Nigeria Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has reinstated that the Francophone Malian coach is committed to the Super Eagles job following recent rumors linking him with some African countries. A report began to emerge after the tournament that the countries such as Tunisia, Guinea, Angola, and the former employers Mali were interested in hiring him. According to report, Tunisia football authorities have sounded that they need the man to be part of the job. But Gusau is saying he's keeping Eric Shields in the job for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's talk about this good one, actually, to see that there are reports surrounding the Super Eagles coach linking him to a big club like Olympique Marseille in France. But now the question is, what are we doing to keep this man? Because he just has 1-year contract. So are you going to extend the salary, or what are you feeding him with more? What does it stand to benefit if he keeps the job for the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
What it stands to benefit? There are loads of things to benefit. Job security, because there are not lots of coaches on the African scene, from even Nigeria, that can go toe-to-toe with Eric Shields. Performance-wise, we saw what he did with Super Eagles. From the bunch of coaches we had for the World Cup qualifiers, the AFCON qualifiers, and the performance of the team at the just concluded AFCON 2025 in Morocco, it shows that he's the man for the job, and it seems like one that can steer the team forward. The way he positions the player, yes, there are question marks sometimes from the way he selects players for competitions and all, but still, it's still been an upgrade on the past or recent coaches we've had for the Super Eagles. But for him and his team, they'll be looking at the big job, they'll be looking at getting ironed. Marseille, Olympique Marseille, club football job is actually
different.
It's different from that of the national team job. So for Eric Shields and his team, this might be, for me, I feel like it's news to jack up and try and get the NFF to show their commitment and maybe increase his pay or give him better working conditions, because Marseille seems like a step too far for him. This is a club that is in transition right now. They are at a level very high. That is why they couldn't continue with Roberto De Zerbi. So coming from someone like De Zerbi and moving to Eric Shields, there are 2 different managers, 2 different setups. Yes, he's a francophone speaking man. He can communicate with the players well. But is his tactics going to be implemented well into an Olympique Marseille side? His last 2 jobs are national team jobs, Mali and currently with the Super Eagles. So that's a different step and a step ahead for him and his team. So for me, I feel it's all news, because I don't think the NFF will want to let go of their man right now, because there are no coaches available for national jobs right now. And
most especially where we're still getting the report of the Super Eagles are still likely to be at the World Cup.
Yes, so for that, I don't think they want it to destabilize. And even if the World Cup is far too much, the World Cup, the qualifiers for the next AFCON will start shortly, and this is a man that has kept the team together. He's transitioned from Ekong, Musa, and the likes, and he's brought in Dele Bashiru and the likes. And it's just in the beginning of a transition phase for him.
So
and they did changing. So will the Super Eagles want to lose a man that steadied the ship for them for now and taking them forward? That's not what I would see from NFF. And for his team, it's very good to get him in the news post AFCON, like you mentioned. There were African teams that are even looking to snatch him up from Super Eagles. So it's good for his portfolio, it's good for the news, and good for Nigerian football, and showing that we have a man that is sorted after by plenty teams and club and country-wise. So it's good for us and good for him as well.
All right, that's the update coming through from Eric Shells, and we hope for the very best. For me personally, I would hope that he remains with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, just like Nuruddin has said. There's a certain transition that he has built with the current Super Eagles player. And, you know, like I said, according to report, there's still rumors and stories surrounding the Super Eagles and DR Congo game. And most likely, if we get that sorted out, we are most likely to still play at the World Cup. Let's move away from that. Let's talk about the results for yesterday's game. A fantastic games, overnight yesterday, where you saw Manchester City. There you have the result on the screen. Aston Villa picking up a victory, a much-needed victory. And also, there's a story surrounding this game because you look at some of the equaling record. That's James Milner. We're talking about that also. Then you have it Burnley coming back, from a 2-0 down to win that game 3-2. Also, you have Manchester City winning 3-2 to Fulham, and they report that Foden should have been red carded in that game on the tackle to Calvin Bassey. Also, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Nottingham Forest, where they had 39 shots in that game and no goals were scored in that game. And we have a report also, just like you said earlier, Sean Dyche, leaves the job. Also, it has to be one fight to get all to the ball. Van Dijk getting a goal right there for Liverpool against the Black Cat Sunderland. Talk to me about this game quickly.
Yes, yesterday he asked me for my picks for the game, and I mentioned Liverpool Sunderland, I mentioned City Villa, and I mentioned City, Fulham, and Villa versus Brighton. I expected more goals from this, but Villa had to do it very little. An own goal. Yeah. They were pushing and they were able to get the 3 points that extends their lead over the chasing pack of Manchester United and Chelsea. For City, it was just about going closer to Arsenal and see what will happen tonight for them. And they did the job. Haaland, 1 goal and an assist, pushing the charge for the title for City again. So it was nice to see for them, and he's going to eat up the title race. Arsenal have tonight to respond to the game against Brentford. For Liverpool, it was a tough ground to go for them at the Community GTEC Stadium for them. Salah and Van Dijk combined to get them the 3 points, and it's helped it's turned things around for them a bit. Now they gained points against Manchester United and Chelsea. They won, I think, 39 points before, and they added 3 points now. So it's moved them closer to the chasing pack, and those 3 teams are currently vying for the 4th position or 3rd, 4th position. Be that as it may, but right now for Liverpool, 3 points yesterday, that's the way to go. For Nottingham Forest and Wolves, it was a dead rubber game at the end of the day. Nottingham Forest created chances, like you mentioned, loads of chances, about 30-something attempts just to put the ball in the back of the net, and they were unlucky. I would say they were unlucky. This was one of the cases under Nuno Espirito Santo before he got sacked. They were playing good football, but putting the ball in the back of the net. Players like Morgan Gibbs-White,
Callum Hudson-Odoi,
Ola Aina and co, they play very well, but when it gets to converting the chances, putting the ball in the back of the net, they seem to falter, and that played the part again for them yesterday. This is a Wolves side that lost 4-0 to Arsenal during the weekend. This is a side everybody's looking to beat, and the Nottingham Forest manager, we know how he is with his owner, we know how he is with managers. He doesn't take lightly to bad run of form. If you don't get the results done, you're out. So it's done that again yesterday after the draw. He part ways with Sean Dyche, and we are here to see who's going to propel the team, because now they are in the relegation battle as well. So we are looking forward to see who is going to replace Sean Dyche and rally around the players. For a team that played in Europe this season, I think they're still in the Conference League. So if not for the FA Cup win for Crystal Palace, they would have played in Europa. So now, this is a contrast from a team that did so well under Espirito Santo last season. They were turning inside for a lot of things. They did the double against Manchester United. They racked up a lot of points on their way to the continental ticket they got last season. But right now, it's not all good for them. This is the 3rd manager they've sacked this season. we are here to see who's going to take up the job next.
All right, let's just look at the next image. That is, Sean Dyche leaving the team after 144 days. That's the update we got there. There you have it. Sean Dyche has left the Nottingham Forest job.
Played 11 matches,
just like
won
I
6
said,
games.
It's going to be a massive one to see who comes in, for Nottingham Forest. Like you said, played 11 matches, won 6 games. Massive struggle right there for Nottingham Forest. Let's look at that start yesterday. Also for Nottingham Forest, there you have it on the screen. Massive start, but they could not get the result. There you have it, 63% ball possession, 2.75 expected goals, 35 shots, 10 shots on target, and 40 touches in the opposition box, and the game still ended goalless.
And this is the poster boy for the defeat, or because it sounds like a defeat. If you have this amount of, you've created this much chances against your opponent and you couldn't put one in the back of the net, 10 shots on target, no matter how informed the goalkeeper is, that is
at least one
should be, that is unforgivable.
Definitely,
so
definitely.
Wolves look like the team that sack manager these days. After United drew against them, Amorim got the sack. Now they sacked Sean Dyche from Nottingham Forest again, and it seems to take everybody down the way they are going, because definitely Wolves are going down at the end of the season.
Definitely, and it looks like managers are living without no bread. But definitely, once they sack, once you have a contract, it's not the NPFL where you don't have a contract. But once you have a contract in the EPL,
you're taking a jab at the NPFL.
You definitely get your pay. Let's see, the order as to, what happened yesterday. Timeless. James Milner has now, in the same record with Gareth Barry, 653 Premier League appearance. Fantastic. Just one more to top that.
Yes, it was expected. He was going to actually get it. If not this season, I think he still has it in his legs to continue. And he's been a great player. West Ham, Liverpool, City, Brighton. He's an exceptional player, and the Premier League are going to put him in the Hall of Fame someday soon. So next game or the game after, this season is going to actually break the record for the highest appearance, and it's still going to extend. He has a chance to extend it, because amongst these players on the board right now, it seems like I think he's the only active player right now. So he still has the chance to continue, and he has the legs to continue this time. So great one for James Milner, and congratulations on him on his record equaling appearance yesterday.
All right, beautiful. Let's talk about the game tonight, where Arsenal are going to play at the GTEC Stadium against Brentford. It's going to be a massive game, and the players are already gearing up and training. There you have to screen, fantastic game to look forward to. But we're going to talk about that now. What are your expectations ahead of this game? Brentford, also, you look at where they are on the log of the table in the Premier League. They look like a team also vying for a ticket in Europe, next season. And also, you look at Arsenal, just 3 points now behind Manchester City. A win tonight also will take them yet again to 6 points. Well, who needs it more? And how do you think Mikel Arteta would set up his side against Brentford?
Let me start from the last question. Arteta needs these points. He needs it more. He needs to put out all the doubts of, say, okay, having City at the back of our neck, you don't want to have that. If they drop points today, either 2 points or 3 points, it's going to be a detriment to their title charge. So right now, you want to maintain the momentum. You have 6 points, you have 3 points, potential 6 points against Brentford, but it's not going to be an easy one. It's at Brentford Stadium, and we know how difficult they are to play there. You got Thiago. Brentford they've benefited richly from Thiago's form this season. He has 17 goals on the log, banging in goals left, right, and center, and it's helped the team a lot. And like you mentioned, they look like a side gunning for a ticket for Europe next season. And who knows, they might get it, because their performances has been consistent for a while. They have Jordan Henderson on the side, they have Thiago banging in goals forward, and the defense has benefited too from the run of form for the season. So for Arsenal tonight, I expect him to set up the way he does. Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes at the heart of the defense. Raya in goal. He's kept the most clean sheet this season in the Premier League. Calafiori, Timber, or whoever he elects to play on the flanks for him. In the middle of the park, I think Merino is out.
Yeah, he's still injured.
He's still injured for a while now.
He's still like Martin Zubimendi.
Zubimendi is there. He has Odegaard. He has Rice. So those are the usual suspects that we expect to see on the field. And up front, Sakai is still out. So
Noni
Madueke is there. He has Gabriel Jesus or an informed Victoria Corres. He scored about 7 goals in the last 9 appearances since the Chelsea.
He's still the highest this year.
Yes,
when it comes to ball.
Since the game against Chelsea, he's gotten a goal and an assist in every other game he's played. So during the weekend he got 2 against Wolves, good for his confidence. Is that going to push Arteta to start him up front today? We are yet to see that. So, and on the left side, they have Havertz back.
They have
Trossard, and Arsenal are stacked. So whoever plays the game for them tonight, whoever starts on, knows what they have to do. You have to defeat Brentford and extend your lead back to 6 points.
All right, let's see if Arsenal can defeat Brentford and extend the lead back to 6 points. Remember, the Premier League is still very much open for grabs, and most fans are looking forward to Arsenal finally putting their hands on the trophy. But Manchester City are chasing toe-to-toe. It's not over until it's over. Let's talk about what happened yesterday, right there in the Copa del Rey, as Real Sociedad pick up the first leg victory against Athletic Bilbao. The game ended 1-0. And tonight, there you have to the screen fantastic results for Real Sociedad picking up that first leg victory against Athletic Cup. It's going to be the second leg to see where it emerges into the final. But tonight, it's going to be at Limona Lukman and FC Barcelona. It's going to be a massive one. And you look at the record of FC Barcelona, look at the last time out when they faced at the Copa del Rey. Funny moment. But let's talk about this game quickly. That you have it just the last time out. Atletico Madrid were leading 2-0. The game ended 2-1, went down to 2-2, went down to 3-2, and 90+8. The game ended 4-2 in favor of FC Barcelona. But tonight it's going to be different. A new team, new shape, new system. Let's talk about the game for Hansi Flick and Diego Simeone quickly.
Yes, it's a good one for Spanish football. Barca and Atletico Madrid again, but Atletico have not enjoyed a good run of form against Barcelona recently. For the past 9 fixtures or 10 fixtures, Barcelona have won about 7, drew 2, and lost just 1. And you read out the head-to-head results for both matches. It's not on the favor of Atletico Madrid, but they were looking to do one better this time around. Last week, they got the 5-0 win over Real Betis, but couldn't continue and do the 6 points over, get the 3 points during the weekend at the Wanda Metropolitano. Adelma Lukman and Simeone this night, they have the big boys in town. They need to get the victory to give themselves an hope of getting to the final of the Copa del Rey. For winning they have 10 Copa del Rey right now. They're looking to make it 11. Barcelona have 32 and looking to extend it. They're the defending champions right now. Last season, in this same competition, Atletico were defeated by Barcelona in the semi-finals on route to win the final against Real Madrid. This time around, is in the semi-finals again. It's going to be a big game. Adelma Lukman would look to write off the blood from the weekend. He got a goal, but he got disallowed. This is a chance for him to get his first goal at the Wanda Metropolitano this evening. Simeone will be banking on that and gets him in rich form. But for Barcelona, Yamin Amal is on form right now. He's tearing down defenses, banging in goals and assists. Lewandowski is around the corner.
Yamal.
Yes, Lewandowski too is around the corner. Olmo is doing the goals for them. So 2 strong sides this night. I expect fireworks and loads of goals from the game tonight. But for Atletico Madrid, they've won loads of games on Thursdays. The record for them for games held on Thursdays is very fantastic. I think they have about 9 or 8 victories in the past 10 games played on Thursdays. So Atletico Madrid fans might be looking to benefit from that and say, okay, this is Thursday football again. Let's see if the God of football is going to back us on that.
Come on, okay. Let's see if the God of football will be back in Atletico Madrid tonight against FC Barcelona. And if you're a Barcelona fan, all you supporting Atletico Madrid because of Ademola Lookman, why not drop your predictions right here? And also you can drop your predictions for the game between Brentford and Arsenal, and make sure you use the hashtag Dominion Sport. Make sure you use the hashtag while dropping your prediction Dominion Sport. Let's move away from that and let's talk more stories quickly because of our time. Lazio are through to the semi-final stage right there at the one on penalty shootout 5-2 at the Copa Italia. Let's look at the draw quickly so we can discuss that before we wrap up the show. If you look at the draw right now, it's going to be Lazio against Inter Milan, and it's going to be Como against Atlanta. For you, we'll go to the final quickly.
Inter, Como.
For you,
I think that's straight up.
Amazing.
Both games are this game against Bologna and Lazio yesterday was the second game from the quarterfinals that went into penalties. The game against Napoli and Como was very exciting too. It went to penalties. Fabregas is doing a great deal of the job, and that's why I think I'm tooting him to get it to the final. Is he going to be able to defeat whoever wins the other semi-final? That's the question we're going to ask when we get to the Copa Italia final.
Let's have the chat. Let's just have the chat of the phase where we are. There you have it. It's going to be Lazio, Inter Milan, and Atlanta against Como. A big game to look forward to. Just like Rudy has said, said, we'll be looking forward to your predictions to see Inter Milan. It's going to be an interesting one.
That is why I want it
from
a neutral fan and from
the Chivo, the head coach of Inter Milan,
Cesc Fabregas for Como, and both teams are playing very well. Inter Milan are 8 points ahead of their rivals in the Italian Serie A. Then the playoffs for the Champions League is going to continue next week. Como, they are hunting for a European ticket and they are playing good football. Nico Paz, Morata, they are playing fantastic football. For Atlanta, they are not strong right now, but they seem like a side that can pour the cheese away for you. So I think it's going to be an exciting semi-final in the Copa Italia, and just expect good football from both teams.
All right, let's look at the next game that happened right then in the DFB Pokal. Is Kane and Luis Diaz getting the goal? Is this man in a fantastic form for Bayern Munich? And also the report is a contract extension for Kane, which they're still in the mix of it. Is it going to extend or not? But this victory was cemented yesterday in the DFB Pokal right there in Germany.
Yes, after Bayern dropped points in last two Bundesliga games, they bounced back during the weekend. 5-1 victory over Hoffenheim. Now they played in the DFB Pokal final. We expect them to be the strongest side. Luis Diaz, like you mentioned, is on fire right now, and is justifying the amount that was paid for him and the salary increase he got from Liverpool on his transfer to Bayern Munich. So for Kane, question marks all the time for players like that. Is he ready to extend his contract with Bayern? Maybe not. Does he want to come back to England to try and break the highest goal scoring record? Because that I think that would be on his mind as well. But which team in England right now is ready to bring him back? Those are the questions that would influence his decision making when it comes to signing the contract or looking for paycheck elsewhere. So we expect to see how that turns out. But Kane is a fantastic player. He's banging in the goals, leading the charge well for Bayern Munich. Even with the likes of Jackson and North, he's still keeping his space and banging in the goals, leading the team well and dropping assists, and even help nurturing younger players like Karl, Olise and Co, just to get them to the top of their form. So for Bayern Munich, good victory. They expected them to be Leipzig. Leipzig are not in the form of their lives right now, but they always seem to be a tough one for Bayern Munich. So, but Vincent Kompany was able to get one over them yesterday, and on to the next round for them. All right,
on to the next round for Bayern Munich right there, and we'll be giving you the update on the DFB Pokal. We have so much update to give you, but definitely tomorrow we have that packed out for you. Wrapping up the story this morning is Adesoya as the Eid 2027 retirement data. This is what Adesoya has revealed. He could retire from the UFC by 2027 with less than 10 fights remaining in his career. The former two-time middleweight champion who faces Joe Piffer at the UFC in Seattle in March 28, admitted on his YouTube channel that the countdown clock is ticking. I can see the finish line, the 36-year-old said, and I've been seeing the finish line in the distance, but now it is closer. Adesoya outlined the potential schedule of fighting twice in a year, which would end his career within the next 2 years. 2028 is going to be like, I don't know yet, I can see past 2027, he added. The Nigerian-born New Zealand resident is currently on a 3-fight losing streak and will enter this bout against Pfeiffer as the battling underdog for the first time in his professional career. Additionally, he has now revealed that he was in deep negotiation to fight at the UFC in Vancouver in October 2025 against former one champion Rainier the Rider, but a gym injury forced him to the sidelines. There you have it. Additionally, hinting final goodbye in UFC.
Yes,
and a fight ahead in March. Do you see, all this all together?
Yes, he's done his part. He's won the titles. He tried to move up. We've talked about his career over the past couple of weeks. He's tried to move up a weight, but it didn't work out for all the conditions right. So for him, he's still building up to his next fight in March, like you mentioned. He's coming as an underdog. Yes, we know he's lost the last 3 fights, but don't underestimate a man like Adesanya. All the talks from combat fighters, I don't believe them until it happens. We've seen Tyson Fury retire about 3 times, so come back to the ring. So if the money is right, you expect to see them back in the ring to defend a title or to get a fight against their opponent. For the match against...
A win? Yeah, well, I was about to ask you, is that a win for him, or do you see him not winning this one again?
Yeah, we are still weeks away from the bout. I still need to see his final preparations, check what he has for him, his camp and all, before I place my bet or place my decision on him. But it still looks like he's going to defeat. This is a massive one for him. The cards are against him. He's the underdog. Those things don't matter. We saw Novak Djokovic defy all odds in the Australian Open. And for things like that, for champions like people like this, he plays it on their mind for them to do well and defeat the narrative from the press. So we expect to see a good fight.
Right.
Good luck to him.
Good luck.
It's weeks away, and we expect to see him at the end of his training camp.
All right, beautiful. And that wraps it up on Dominion Sport today. From the Premier League title pressure to continental ambitions and future, we call it a wrap right here on the show. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi. I say a big thank you to my producer and the crew, and also a big thank you to Nuruddin Alimi for joining me this morning.
It's my pleasure. Thank you
All
for
right,
having me.
stay safe and stay blessed, and bye for now.